I got choke slammed by my little brother's friend. Little brother had his high school graduation party. I think most people know that's always a good night. All of my brother's buddies show up, and they're just tore up enjoying the night. Well, at one point earlier in the graduation party, because having my little brother's friends around at the house all the time, it really is like having a bunch of little brothers that you're hanging out with. We'll have our little life chats and stuff. It's a little bit more relatable for your older brother who's only 6 years older versus trying to talk to mom and dad about stuff. So I think, especially my little brother, we've gotten a lot tighter just hanging out, having those conversations. And I will screw around with my brother and his friends when they're here. You know, we'll wrestle with the living room and shit and whatever it is. It's just like I said, it's like having a bunch of little brothers running around. I was actually going down to find my grandpa because he was drinking with my brother and his buddies. So at one point, one of my brother's friends is sitting on the couch and we start wrestling. Well, he choke slams me to the ground. A couple more hours pass. I choke him out and he taps just like I did. And then we were even. Night's over. So 4 or 5 hours pass, right? And it's the late night of the party. And my mom said, hey, why don't you go check in the side lot that we have where everybody was parking, like make sure there's no trash or no kids are passed out in their car. Like, yeah, no problem. As I'm walking out there, 2 of my little brother's friends are walking with me and we're chatting and whatever. And again, it's a field at night with some cars parked out there. We're just making sure everybody's safe and there's no trash. So I'm just casually walking, and all of a sudden, there's a forearm around my neck, and my feet are off the ground, and we're flying through the air. I get slammed down on the ground, and my face is just in this field, like bam!
Slithering. Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! Watch out! KO! Here's the cover.
And I'm like, what the hell? My little brother's other 2 friends, they're laughing. They pick me up, make sure I'm like, you good? I'm like, all disoriented. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I just start laughing because I'm like, I don't know what the hell just happened. And then we end up walking around, making sure everybody's good. And then that was it. I go in. I go back to hanging out with my girlfriend and my grandparents outside. And then my brother had his party the rest of the evening. Well, at night, me and my girlfriend are getting ready to go to sleep. And she's like, oh, my God, what happened to your lip? My lip was all bloody and swollen and shit. And I'm like, I don't know. Well, when I had gotten choke slammed in the field, I bit through my lip and it was all bloody and swollen and shit. My girlfriend's like, were you fighting one of your brother's friends? I'm like, no, I wasn't fighting one of them. I think one of them may have choke slammed me, but it was like we were joking around because it was nothing brutal. It was just like I said, just like wrestling with your little brother. It was nothing violent, but it was definitely unexpected when I got choke slammed the second time out in the field. So again, I go to bed. It's whatever. The next day I wake up, I started bleeding again after I thought I had cleaned myself up. So I woke up and my lips all swollen. There's blood all over my pillow. My girlfriend's like, what the hell happened? The next morning we went upstairs and my brother's close friends all stayed for the night and they were eating breakfast upstairs with my parents the next morning. And I was like, you know, you choke slammed me last night in the field. He's like, I did that? And like I said, I wasn't even mad because they were so tore up. They probably didn't even remember the event, but it was just so funny because I was like, I just can't believe you choke slammed me. Because like I'm not a big guy by any means, but I am, a little bigger than most of my brother's friends because they're high schoolers. So they were like, just had no memory of slamming me to the ground, and I just thought that was hilarious. And like I said, I wasn't even mad because he genuinely apologized. I'm sorry, dude. Like I don't even remember slamming you to the ground. It's like, dude, it's fine. You didn't even remember it. It was more funny than anything that I got a bloody lip and did nothing even significant happened. So that was a funny moment. Every once in a while, I'll get a little tired of being around my family all the time, but I can't express enough the importance of having that close, genuine relationship with your siblings or your family members. And if you don't have it with family, you're not able to have it with family, having it with a good, close circle of friends, because those relationships and friendships, that genuine care for each other and bond, I guess you could say, that is what makes life worth living, in my opinion. And I could be totally wrong, but like every story I tell on here, all the content that I have for my writing and podcasts and stuff, it all comes from the great moments I've had with those family and friends. And I really, really almost, I guess I appreciate it even more because for a while I almost lost it with my siblings. Like we did not have that close relationship, that circle of trust with each other because I just got busy in college and kind of stopped reaching out to them and checking in on them. So I had to kind of rekindle that and bring that back in my life. And I'm glad I did because, again, without having like your core group of people in your life and that good inner circle, that it's hard to really even see who you are as a person at times, in my opinion. I think I say that on here all the time anyway. But that story was hilarious, and like I said, it's been a pleasure being around this summer with my brother and his friends, and just kind of getting to have a bunch of little brothers to hang out with when I get home from work and go to the gym with and golf with and all the stupid shit that they do. I enjoy tagging along with them every once in a while. I guess it's just the inner immaturity in me, but that's the story. More good stories to come. Talk to Tom.
I was riding around town thinking to myself, is it gonna get easier? I'll be up and away up the street and babe, but I can't even breathe no more. What's it to me? What can I see? Taking shots by